I am honored to introduce Olya at our Back to Nature Spring Summit. Olya is a bioenergetic holistic health counselor. She specializes in uncovering the emotional and energetic blockages that contribute to weight struggles, chronic health issues, and misalignment in life. Through her unique bioenergetic approach, mind-body connection, Olya helps individuals break free from symptom management, giving them the ability to achieve deep healing and lasting transformation. In addition to speaking on prominent stages, Olya educates and empowers individuals to reconnect with their bodies, heal past trauma, and align with their highest potential. She is dedicated to reshaping how people understand health, moving beyond temporary fixes to true mind, body, soul healing. Her work inspires people to take charge of their well-being and step into a life of vitality, freedom, and purpose. Olya, you have a deep passion for helping people uncover their hidden blockages and emotional barriers. What inspired you to do this work?
Well, first of all, thank you, Elizabeth, for your introduction. And I'm so happy to be part of this summit. It's such an important message that we're delivering to everyone. And the way I started this bioenergetic approach and helping people heal was because I discovered in my 20s that nobody could help me without giving me toxic medications till the rest of my life. I was only in my 20s and I had so many health issues and I couldn't understand what was going on with me, chronic migraines and fluctuating weight, depression, my hormonal imbalances, IBS, you name it, I probably had it, this. And I realized that every time I saw a doctor, they actually told me that because I have so many issues, it's probably something either in my head or I need antidepressant or I need to get just pain medications till the rest of my life because they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And I was only 22 years old. So, we're going back 45 years ago when I started my journey. And by understanding that I cannot live my life on this medicated path when I'm just starting my life, basically, I started studying and researching and changing my nutrition, changing my lifestyle. And I was able to change so much. And I was so much better already. But I never addressed the most important aspects, which took me years to realize what was actually holding me back from completely healing the emotional aspects. And when I lost my husband to cancer I was only 32 years old. I was 40 years old. And I realized that all my issues resurfaced. It was like an aha moment for me. There was so much more than nutrition. There was so much more than just lifestyle. We need to go back and understand our bodies, connect with our bodies. And I came across this approach, bioenergetics. And when somebody did this work with me, I realized that all my dysfunctional childhood, all the traumas I had, being raised in the family of alcoholics and dealing with, my stepfather, who was not a very loving person, a lot of other things like being bullied in school, physical abuse, sexual, abuse, and all the things were related how my body was feeling. So this approach, bioenergetics, it combines all aspects of who we are. We are not treating a physical symptoms. We are treating, connecting all parts of you, which is your physical aspects, your mind, your body, and your spirit. You also, your ancestral patterns and influences, your genetics. So we go back so deeply, basically going back to your roots, how we used to work, how we used to treat ourselves. And what you probably also aware of, we are steering away from who we are. We're living in a world with all this advanced medicine, but they're not offering, we don't see any healing. We only see symptom management, basically maintaining us to be sick till the rest of our lives, giving more medication. It's like a revolving door of medications. And my approach is healing, going back into the root cause of your physical issue so we can really heal, not maintain your sickness. And that's possible. And I did reverse my autoimmune issues and chronic issues. And in my 60s now, I'm so much healthier than I was in my 20s. I know it works. And I see this also with my clients.
Thank you. The theme of this summit is about nourishing ourselves to replenish the planet. How do you see the connection between personal healing that you described so well and planetary healing?
Yeah, so a bioenergetic approach modality is basically like quantum physics. It's energy, and energy never ends within our body, what we have inside. So whatever we feel inside, it's going to affect our energetic world around us. Well, everything we consume is going to affect us energetically. The food we eat either gives us energy or takes energy away. People, toxins in the environment, or on the other hand, like sunshine, mountains, and water, they're going to nourish our body. And living in a very superficial chemical world with a lot of toxicity and pollution is going to drain our energy. It's not going to make us healthier. So it's not only focusing on healing ourselves, but doing it in a more natural way, going back to essential oils, to organically grown food without chemicals. And I see it more and more that we have so many issues with broken bones and hip and knee replacements, stress fractures, which didn't even exist 50 years ago. Where are they coming from? From all those toxins that we are now having in our joints from eating GMO food or food with all the plastic particles, that plastic particles now in the water, chemicals, heavy metals, medications, they everywhere in the water. So either we want it or we don't want it. We have statins, we have birth control pills, we have all kinds of medications. We have them in the water. So let's go back to nature. Let's connect in these simple ways to our roots and how we can heal naturally. And there are so many ways of doing this. And first, we have to get out of our head and get back into our body, get back and connect with our heart, get back and connect with our roots. And I see that what a lot of people do, they actually creating all this fancy mixtures and shakes and proteins and bars. It's actually not real food. And also, if you were lived all your life in the area, like I was born above the Arctic Circle, you're going to give me Ayurvedic herbs. They may not even work for me because my ancestors never knew what Ayurvedic herbs were. My body is not going to recognize those things. It's not what my ancestors ate. And the opposite, if we're going to give fish oil, which that's what I was consuming to keep warm, to have my vitamin D's, my vitamin A, and boost my immune system. For a lot of people who may be from Africa or India or Caribbean, it's not going to work. So you have to go back to the roots, what worked for your ancestors, and go back to the food that your ancestors ate. And when you're doing this, you're going to actually help your own healing. And you're going to heal the very, diseases that were created by living in a world that is not yours. You didn't create this world. So it's all about connection. It's all about clean eating. It's all about looking outside and seeing how can I contribute more to make this environment cleaner and to make me live in harmony with everything around me, not isolated, just me, which is in a way very selfish, using all the plastics, using all the things that are polluting our oceans and our soil and our bodies. So it's all interconnected. You can't isolate ourselves and be healthy living in a toxic environment, and vice versa. Yeah, you cannot have just great, beautiful environment and which is going to make you sick. So it's like it needs to be in harmony with us, and that's what I preach this, and I definitely live what I preach. I'm very careful how I live my life, and I'm educating people how they can use many modalities for free, like essential oils and herbs and different remedies that maybe go thousands years, like cupping and simple things that our grandmothers and grandmothers did. And now we're going back to those things and see, oh my God, they actually work, and they become like a new trendy thing. Yeah, does it make sense?
Our Western medicine is very, very good for handling acute emergencies.
Absolutely.
And I think it has failed miserably when it comes to chronic issues. And the chronic issues are definitely only known when you understand your root causes, as you've expressed. And understanding these root causes, I think one of them is we are used to having analog type frequencies around us, whether it's the sunlight is sine waves and electric magnetism. But in our digital world, so many things are pulsed with the on and off frequencies bombarding our bodies night and day, especially if you're living in a city. How can we mitigate that? Or do you see that even as an issue?
Yeah, it is hard. I live in New York City. I live in the center of, like concentration of everything that I don't like. Like it's a very toxic environment because there's not too many trees, first of all. Then all these cell towers around me. I'm living like in an eye of a hurricane. Like if you think about all this radiation, and the way to do it is like find the ways how I can do it on the weekends. Take care of my body, how I can detoxify, how I can, any opportunity I have, and I will go and connect with nature. I do a lot of hiking. I do a lot of swimming. I go skiing. I just go and put my face toward the sun to get all that natural vitamin D, even if it's maybe 20 minutes a day. I constantly try to move because we're sitting in front of computer. We are not moving. We're becoming stiff. We're becoming inflexible. We're creating horrible posture that affecting our organs, the structure of our body on every level. And Wi-Fi is killing us too. And we can't avoid it. I work on computer, on Zoom a lot. So you just see like, what can I do better? It means taking breaks, taking some supplements that help me detoxify, taking some baths with Epsom salt, going use infrared. I go to Korean spa or to Russian banya to detoxify. I do cold plunges, hot, cold, hot, cold. We can do so much. Even living in a toxic world, we can do better. It's like we just have to understand what is going to recharge our batteries, because we are just like a cell phone. Everything around us can drain our battery. And when the battery is dead, we are sick. So we need to recharge our battery constantly. And recharging is exposure to the sunlight, fresh air. Go and smell those flowers and roses and herbs. And like, if you can't do it in your own garden, I don't have my own garden. I go to the farmer's market and I put my face on the herbs and I smell them and I inhale them. And I'm just looking all that beauty of greens and different colors of vegetables and fruit. What we see is also going to change our vibrations. It's not only what we eat, what we see, what we hear. So everything. And that's how we can start healing in a better way. Doing meditation, going back, connecting with yourself. As I said, I see that we are so disconnected. We don't even understand what's going on inside our body. And Elizabeth, as you said, that the medicine is so advanced, it can really save lives in critical situations. But what's happening, we are getting over medicated for everything. The first thing the doctor is going to ask, like, I'm going to give you medication, instead of let's look at your lifestyle. Let's look what you're eating, your nutrition. Let's discuss what we can do better. And we should think about prevention and not only going to see a doctor when we're already in a critical situation and we need some kind of something that will help us heal. And it's hurting me that we don't even ask questions. When we go see a doctor and the doctor is asking, like every time I go to see a doctor, because I'm 67, the first questions, which medications are you taking? None. No, I'm saying like, what do you take? Are you taking statins? No, I'm not taking anything. I'm not taking any thyroid medication or statin medications or any medications. Well, maybe you should. Why? Am I unhealthy? Look at my blood work, and I think I'm a very healthy individual. I'm very highly functional individual. So you see all these things and you understand that you need to take your own health into your own hands and not just follow advice blindly. Like you go there, no questions asked, and you walk out from the doctor's office with a prescription in your hand. Ask questions, be your own advocate, take control of your health. There is so much you can do. And especially sometimes you go to see a doctor and he is not the best picture of health. And sometimes because they have only like 3 hours of nutrition. And the question they like ask you, why are you taking fish oil? It's fat. It's not going to it's going to affect your cholesterol. And it's like total misinformation. And yeah, they're looking at me like I have two heads and they don't like me because I ask too many questions.
What you said has just resonated so well with me. And I also go for, full lifestyle intervention, right back to food as your medicine as well.
Yeah.
And really getting to know your body and what works for you. And I think I'm 72 now, and I am on 0 medications as well.
Yeah.
And the last time I went to the doctor,
I'm always happy to see people like that.
he wanted me to get on statins. So I pulled out research from way, way back about all the dangers of statins. And he eventually kind of looked at me and said, well, you did a convincing argument. I won't prescribe anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go on to the next question. How can shifting to a more natural, holistic way of living not only heal our bodies, but also contribute to the healing of the earth?
Yeah. So I will just give you a few examples from some of my clients who came to me, and they had issues like some doctors told them that you cannot reverse either because of your age. Like I had a gentleman in the 60s who was suffering with really bad back pain. He could not walk. His posture was like this. He couldn't even walk 1 block in New York City. But because of his age, right away, the doctors assume that his issues are related to some, like nerve damage, and his spine is deteriorating, and it's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. And just having a session with him and discussing his life, we discussing his relationship with his estranged daughter. After divorce, he has no communication with her, and it's deeply, deeply hurting him. And of course, anger and resentment that he was feeling toward his wife. We were working just on that. And of course, addressing his lifestyle, see what kind of changes we could do just with nutrition and maybe a few supplements. And now this gentleman not only has no back pain, he went back, not from walking, playing hockey. He was a professional hockey player in his 20s. Playing hockey all the time. So there is no more back pain. So it just shows that when we take, like sometimes when your doctor gives you a diagnosis and you take it, the ownership of this diagnosis. Okay, I have hypothyroid. I have issues with my heart. Now I have to deal with. I have chronic fatigue syndrome. Instead of saying, well, I have symptoms of that. What can I do better in my life? And when we start doing that, we can heal. In the same way, I helped one gentleman regenerate the nerves in his face that his nerves were damaged by radiation because he had cancer. And he was losing the function of his tongue. He couldn't speak. He had so much pain and ringing in his ears. And I never worked with anybody like this before. I don't focus on the symptom. I'm just trying to see if I can activate your own healing mechanism within your body and making you understand what's really hurting you. And eventually, only like in 5 months, he started regenerating nerves in his face and he was able to speak again without because before he was speaking, like people would look at him and say that there was something wrong with his brain. And now you could hear a little bit, something was, like it just, speech was a little bit off, but he was communicating fully. This is just like a couple examples what we can do, how we can heal. And the same thing with me. I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue and the hypothyroid, chronic migraines. I'm supposed to be living till the rest of my life, and endometriosis, and it goes on and on and on. I wouldn't be able to have children, and this, and I did have 2 children by myself on my own without any kind of intervention. So we can do so much, and we have to understand that we don't need to give the control of our body to anybody. We have to trust ourselves, like in our own healing, and find a way how we can manage it. Find practitioners who are going to work with you, with your lifestyle, understanding your body, what happened in your life, or maybe what damage you had from all the toxicity in the past, and start healing step by step. And we can get better and better and better. And myself, actually, I had a lot of poisoning from radiation, exposure to radiation, which I was not aware growing up in Russia. I was swimming in the lake that was created and built to watch the nuclear reactor, cooling down nuclear reactor, which was on the other side of the lake. You could actually see it. Nobody talked about this. And then I was wondering why I was feeling so sick. But even then, by doing what I'm doing, I was able to clean my body, reverse, detoxify, address, and we can do so much, so much. All we need is just guidance, somebody who understands, who can guide you. So I call myself like a wellness Sherpa. I am putting you on the path and guiding you step by step, what you can do better in your life.
What wonderful, transformative testimonies that you've given. I'd like to point out that many people identify with their disease, and that becomes part of their social interaction and their emotional input. And unfortunately, I believe that it actually reinforces the disease.
Yeah.
While a natural holistic method that you've shown was so transformative in actually getting to know the people and getting to know, helping them to get over some of these traumas, has actually let their body then heal itself, because it definitely knows how to heal itself once the blockages are removed. Is
Absolutely.
that a fair statement?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely right. Yeah.
Nice question.
Yeah.
What is one powerful truth about healing that you wish more people understood?
I would say that the most powerful truth about our healing is that nothing is final. Don't just take those diagnoses as like an accessory. Oh, it's like a car. Which car do you have? You have Honda, you have you have Toyota. No, the same thing goes on with disease, with all these sickness and challenges. People get together. Oh, I have Hashimoto, or I have, I had a stroke, so now I have issues with my heart, and I have a iffy, something like this. I have arthritis. So like we stick to that diagnosis, like grabbing it, and we want to own it. Just, look at the symptoms and say what I can do better. You are your own healer. When you understand how your body works and when you guide it directly, you can not only reverse many of your symptoms, make your life better, but it's going to improve the quality of your life. It's going to affect your relationship. It's going to affect how you see yourself in this life, what you worth it, your self-esteem, your self-validation. Everything is going to improve. Everything is connected with this nature. So just go inward and be your own wellness Sherpa, So start understanding your body and see what's working, what's not. See which foods are making you feel better. See which foods are making you tired, draining your energy, making you sick, making you toxic, making you so puffy and bloated and unhealthy that you realize something is wrong with you. So go back to your roots. Go back to your roots. So that's probably the best thing that I can say. Like, get enough sleep, pay attention to your stress. Like we say often that stress can kill us, but people take it, yeah, stress can kill us. It's not really, it's like a metaphor. It's not really true thing. Stress is killing us, and we're living constantly in a fight or flight response. How can we be healthy when everything else in our body is shutting down for us to be able to survive, to be in that fight or flight? And we're getting so used to it that we think it's our normal state to be in fight or flight response. So go back to nature, to meditation, relaxing, connecting to your roots. And I think, the topic of the summit is so powerful because we do need to bring people back to where they came from.
That adrenal cortisol axis is such a difficult thing to break free from, and very, very hard to release yourself, because I think many people, especially A-type personalities or those that are totally connected into technology, are just being fed by an adrenaline addiction.
Yeah.
Now, how could someone break free? Like for me, that's part of enjoying technology, but getting out into nature and community gardening, actually using all of your 5 senses to interact with nature.
Yes.
And it brings a tremendous amount of stress reduction. And I think it helps to break the adrenaline cortisol cycle. What tip would you give to help people release? We may know what we need. We've got it in our mind, but how do we get that down to our body and actually release our reaction?
Well, also, it's interesting. You said many people know, but you know that many people don't even know. When people come to me and I say, your stress level is so high, and they say, I don't feel it, I'm managing it very well, because living in that fight or flight becomes like their nature. They're so used to it. And then when I do my work or we do meditation and suddenly they crash and they say, wow, suddenly I feel tired. And I say, this is how you feel all the time, but you don't allow yourself feel it because you pull yourself and your body is constantly in a surviving mode and you need to just do what you need to do. But this is how your body is feeling when you're not in control. Yeah. And they're like, wow, like, oh my God, I don't even know, like, I feel suddenly drained. I said, yeah, it's draining you every single day. So we need to like pay attention to our breathing. We need to pay attention, like, do we feel tightness? Like really checking our bodies. How is our body responding? Do you have sudden tension when you're sitting at the meeting, or there's a discussion of something that you're so stressed that maybe, at your work? So like your body is giving you these signals. Oh my God, I feel so tired. I feel so much tension. I can't breathe. I can't process. I have anxiety. Why do we have a mental health is right now is another epidemic? So for the same exactly reason. So taking a few breaths, just go back and remind yourself you are safe. Like I like to do just few simple things. And I always suggest to everyone, just close your eyes, connect with your body. Right now, your brain is processing, you're not safe. You are like, you need to survive. And just by connecting, putting your one hand on your heart, another one on your belly and say, I am safe. I am grounded. I am protected. I am so much loved. And smile. I always call it, give me your Mona Lisa smile, which is like, you don't need to grin on everything, but even if you just, kind of smile, you cannot be too stressed. Right away, like your body is going to release some stress hormones, and also the chemistry of your hormones is going to change. And go take your lunch outside. Look at the beautiful flowers or trees or sunshine if you have. And if you even don't have sunshine, like today in New York, go at least just outside and feel some air. Go to the park and look at the birds or animals or something. So simple things we can do. And grounding, of course. Grounding.
Thank you, Olya. You've given us so many practical tips and good advice and have helped us to move to a different mindset about natural health and how we can heal ourselves and in our own little way and the influence that we have on others, start healing the earth around us, through personal relationships and through interacting truly and fully with all of our senses with nature. I know some people will want to connect with you more. So how can people connect with you and learn more about your work?
Yeah, so I do a lot of work online with clients, and what I'm offering, as my gift, a call with me where I can actually listen to your health challenges or any like life challenges, and I will help you identify what's holding you back. Is it some story maybe from the past, some trauma, some emotions that that person internalized and it's blocking and it's causing physical issues, or maybe the toxicity level that that person needs to address. There's so many ways we can work with, but at least at that one session, maybe I'll create some clarity how you can move forward. And it's a complimentary call with me, and we're going to put the link in the chat, but also you can click on Olya, my first name, OLYA360.com, and that will actually lead you to my calendar. You can book a call with me. You can connect to my social media and see where I speak as a speaker, what I talk about it, how I help people, and also look for information on my website. And again, connect with me. You have nothing to lose, but many things to gain.
Thank you, Olya. And it's just been so wonderful chatting with you today. And I really hope many people will take advantage of your kind and generous offer and get the clarity on the next steps that they need to take. So thank you.
Thank you so much. This is so much needed what you're doing, this summit, because we really need to spread information so people can not only have that tunnel vision in front of them, but open the mind to all the possibilities, how they can heal, how they can improve their life and live totally in a better world than what's around us. So thank you so much. It was my pleasure to be here.